seriously. You get. It's war. I'm playing covers of war. Well, not really covers of war, but song versions of war that aren't the Edwin Starr version, which was the big version that everybody knows. Even though the Temptations were the original, you get it. Hello there, CriterioNate here, number 499, part 3 in number 500, Roberto Rossellini's War Trilogy. Germany, year 0. Or, I don't remember the titles. 1948, 73 minutes, black and white, German and English with optional English subtitles. Monaural, black and white monaural, 1 point something aspect ratio. I don't know. Yeah. So anyway, they actually have 1.33 to 1 aspect. Blah blah blah. Who cares? You know. Anyway. So here we are. The last movie. This season, the 5th season, over. And good God, did we go out with a bang. And I do mean a bang. I mean, this has got to be the saddest movie. One of the saddest movies I've ever seen. I mean, this is right up there with The Children Are Watching Us. And Umberto D. You know, this is like top 10 saddest movies. Like, this would be right up there. Good God. So, final movie in the Roberto Rossellini trilogy and the War trilogy, and again, yeah, it's sad stuff. I mean, the first 2 movies were more, I guess, on the were in Italian. This one in German because it's supposed to be from from the perspective of Germany after the war was over. And I guess the Year 0 titles from the Germany Part 2. Supposed to be like after the war there was a new Germany. It's supposed to be, so this is the beginning of Germany all over again. I think that's the point of the title. Anyway, it's a short movie, very short, but still it packs a punch in the short time it takes. So there's not much to talk about. Basically, it's about this young boy named Edmund, who lives with his 2 sisters and his older brother, and his sisters Eva and they only have 5 of their names in there. So there's Edmund, who's the young boy, he's like 12. His father, who is bedridden and is very sick. Eva, who I guess dates these Allied soldiers to get cigarettes and other goodies. She won't sell herself. She won't prostitute herself. Karl Heinz, who is a soldier in the war and doesn't enlist to the police or something because he's afraid that they'll find out about something or other. And so yeah, Edmund basically goes out and gets what he can. He tries to work, but he's too young. The German people shoo him away, and then one day he ends up running into one of his old school teachers, Herr Henning, and Henning takes a liking to him, a little too creepily of he's kind of touching his face, and he's kind of stranger danger, bad touch kind of guy, but in reality he needs him to help his work because Henning is a Nazi sympathizer and still has Nazi idealism, and that's why he was fired from teaching because he taught these Nazi ideals to his students. And so he asks Edmund for his help. He asks Edmund to sell a recording of Hitler to these soldiers, and in return he ends up getting 10 marks for payment. However, Edmund ends up working with these 2 other children, Joe and I forget the other, Joe, and then this other girl whom I guess is a young, who's sleeps with the other boys, Joe and Christy. And Joe's kind of a big bully guy, and he steals money from patrons, from the German people by like tricking them into buying soap and stealing their money before he can give it to them. And so Edmund, tries to get into this, but Joe like shoos him away because he's a little boy. And so anyway, Edmund's father gets sicker and sicker, and he ends up getting sent to a hospital where he starts to recover a little bit, sent back home. Edmund tells Henning about his issues, and Henning, gives him this Nazi propaganda and says, oh, your father's weak, he should just go ahead and die because, the weak should be sacrificed so that the strong can survive, or something like that, which is some scary ass shit, Nazis are scary ass assholes, Anyway, so Edmund steals this poison from the doctor and comes back home and decides to poison his grandfather, his father, so that he can die off, Meanwhile, there's a raid, and during the raid, Edmund's father dies. They come back. Eva's crushed. Karl Heinz, who I guess was often hiding from the police and all that, comes back and finds out his father's dead. Edmund is upset by this and wanders around. Obviously, especially when he goes to see Henning, and Henning, is pissed off at Edmund for killing his father, and denies having anything to do with it, and so he says, no, I don't want anything to do with this. You're on your own, and so Edmund wanders around the street, tries to play with the kids, and he's rejected, and he ends up climbing this building and watches his father being taken away in the coffin, and his sister calls out for him, looking for him, and they go home, and Edmund's just so depressed that he ends up jumping off the building, this dilapidated building, and killing himself. A woman sees him and tries to recover the body. It's too late, and that's the end of the movie. What a joy fest! What a romp through Joy Town. Damn, Rossellini. Good God. I gotta say, this was actually pretty damn good. I like this movie, but it's really heavy, though. That's the problem. It's right. It's right to me. It's a movie that has to be heavy. But that being said, it's like you can like a movie, you can see how strong it is, but you may not want to watch it again because of just how heavy it is, because it evokes these feelings that you don't want to feel. You can agree with it. You can agree with what happens in the movie. You can say, oh, this movie is important, But with free time, if you're given free time, you're going to say, oh, I don't want to watch that, It's a good movie, but I don't want to watch it, So that's how I feel about this movie. Like, this is almost something I would almost buy, because I thought Paisan was depressing in times, because of how few good endings came out of Paisan. But that being said, the stories were still interesting, and the storyline was the plot twists, and all the episodes kind of summarize themselves. Same thing with Rome Open City. I feel like it's the same kind of aspect as Paisan, except it's just one long story, and it doesn't work as well as the way the shorter Paisan stories did. With this story, it's good overall, but the ending is just flat out depressing. That's the best way to describe this movie. It's great. It's a very good movie, and it summarizes the war trilogy to a T. That in the end, we have to look at, I think Rossellini was really trying to look at the war from all different sides, and there was no way that he could ignore the Germans, what they were going through. So he had to do a movie from their point of view, and this is it. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I really can say. Germany Year Zero gets an A from me. It's a really dark story, but it's one that's sadly important, and it's important that we know what was going on with the Germans at the time. So yeah. So anyway, that's all I got to say. Germany Year Zero gets an A from me. Supplements. Let's see. Supplements. What were the supplements? Oh, I gotta look up on the website here because I didn't bring the disc, and we got through there's a lot of supplements. Because the movie's so short, obviously Criterion packs it open, So supplements. There's of course an introduction from. There's obviously an introduction from whatchamacallit. What's his name? Rossellini. He talks about the film, and there's also an hour-long documentary called Roberto Rossellini, done in 2001 by Carlo Lizzani, who was the assistant director on Germany Year Zero, and it's just has archival footage with actors and new interviews and all that. There's also an interview with Lizzani called Letters from the Front. Carlo Lizzani on Germany Year Zero, where he reads letters and he talks about the movie, and it's from the 1987 Tutto Rossellini conference. There's also a new interview with Adriano Apra, interviews with Italian directors Paolo and Vittorio Taviani, and a illustrated interview called Roberto and Roswitha, which is an illustrated essay by Thomas Mader about Rossellini's relationship with his mistress, Roswitha Schmidt. There you go. So, and it includes the Italian, because the movie was in German. It includes the original Italian credits when it was shown in. Well, they're not the original, but the Italian credits, along with a voiceover in the beginning of the movie that kind of set the scene for the Italian-speaking people. So, so that's it. Germany Year Zero gets an A from me. Sad as hell, but war is the same. Boom. And that concludes my review of Roberto Rossellini's War Trilogy. Overall, a strong set, and one that I may buy sometime. I may pick this up. I don't think I'm going to pick it up for the sale that's going on right now. I don't think I'm going to do that. But I will definitely consider it. Maybe in the near future. Maybe sometime soon. You never know. And yeah, overall, an A. I think, my favorite is still Paysan. My least favorite was, probably, as sad as Germany Year Zero was, I think Rome Open City was a little weaker just because of Anna Magnani. I'm going to go ahead and hold that over his head. Rossellini, you shouldn't have done it, But, and I know this was before she was cast in Mama Roma, but fuck it. It's my channel. I can say whatever I want, blah, blah, blah. So Rossellini gets an A from me. Check this out. These are some good ones. Ignore the Taking of Power by Louis XIV. Ignore that set that the Eclipser did. But if you got to see some Rossellini, check this out. And I don't think that's it. I'm sure we've got more. Oh, and you can ignore Generale della Novere or whatever, I want to see what's the next Rossellini, because I know there's more. Rossellini. There's got to be. I don't think they're. Let's see, Rossellini. Oh yeah, and Flowers of St. Francis. That one was okay. Let's see. What's the next one? Next one is the Bergman set. Okay, so the next one is until 672. The 3 films by Roberto Rossellini starring Ingrid Bergman: Stromboli, Europa 51, and Journey to Italy. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it so far. So it'll be a while before we get to that one, but anyway, that's near the future. Anyway, at least we have a good set of movies from that, and blah blah blah. And yes, so yes, happy days are here again. We're done, guys. We are done. Oh my god, I did it! 500 criterions. Oh, good god. Whew! Lordy, 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 we did it. 500 down. 400 and more plus to go. Oh, good god. Oh, man. And I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know how I'm going to do it. So yeah, this is it. Last episode of season. Obviously, we're not done with the season, as you know. I've still got the worst 14 to film. I'll do that maybe a little later tonight, and I'll edit it and probably get it up tomorrow, because I have my worst 14. And then the top 28, I'm working on getting all the DVDs to showcase them all, because I do like to do that. And I'll do a wrap-up video sometime later this week, where I have and I do have an important announcement to make about the future of this channel. Basically, there's going to be some changes made in the near future, but I'm not going to talk about that here. We'll talk about that in the wrap-up video. I really hope everyone who's been following me will go watch it. Yeah, so that's all I've got right now. Yeah, so I can't believe I did it. Good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Oh god, this is the longest season. I know. Just some of it is just me, not having time. Some of it was, the Eclipser doing all his damn, Eclipse reviews. But yeah, a lot of stuff. But anyway, we are done. Thank you for watching. We'll do some wrap up later this week. And yeah, so that's it for me. Thank you for watching. Don't be a Nazi. Do not be a Nazi. And yeah, thank you again. I cannot thank you enough for sticking it through. We'll get through all these damn criterions. And they're still releasing some. I'm recording this on July 16th, and today was release day for October 14th, and they got The Princess Bride and oh my god, The Princess Bride. Everybody and their mom has been screaming about that movie. Everybody, apparently all my friends have seen that movie, and I haven't. So there you go. Well, I'll get a chance. I'll have a reason to. I have a true reason to now. Oh boy. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all down the road if you don't watch the wrap-ups. And we'll see you all in next year for number 501, Wim Wenders, Paris, Texas. And yeah, but anyway, we'll talk about this more in the wrap-up as far as the future. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all down the road for a wrap-up. Hopefully, tomorrow, July 17th, I'll get the worst 14 up. So stay tuned. Anyway, until then, goodbye.